זמן מה, כמה ימים טובים, אולי אפילו שבועות, אני עכשיו לא יודע. אבל הגיע הזמן שנחזור לאיזתן Investigations Collection. מצטער שאני קצת אוף בבחינה של האינטרו, אין לי כזה מה להגיד. אני אגיד את האמת, פשוט אין לי מה להגיד. אז בואו פשוט נתקדם. רגע, אני צריך לברר אם הכל עובד. הכל אמור לעבוד. רגע, נשמע אותי לרגע. אוקיי, הכל עובד, הכל טוב. פרפקט. Let's go! פעם קודמת! לא פה. פה. התקדמנו הרבה דווקא. מבחינה זה שאני השגתי 2 achievement'ים, שזה די נדיר לראות. אבל זה מה שקורה כשיש 2 דברים באפיסוד 4. whatever. בוא נעשה את זה. The truth behind the KG8 incident. So video היה introduction ל-K. אוקיי. 10 לספטמבר, 5:45 בצהריים. District Court, Defendant Lobby 1. קרה בעצם. אשכרה להקל voice acting. זה באמת כבר בגלל שאני הרבה זמן לא עשיתי voice acting. כן, פעם קודמת. סופית יש לו את הרביעי ל-K30. ועדיין מנסים להבין את הבולסי של ילד גרסו. ודי השתדלנו הכי טוב שאפשר להתפטר מגמשו כקילר, כי זה קונטרדיקטורי. אבל היי, בוא נראה מה יש לנו פה. What is this incredibly overpowering scent of sweet scent? It smells like flowers. Uncle Bud, is this it? Isn't that Detective Bud and Kay over there? Uncle Adam. It looks like she managed to escape the bailiff. No, that's not quite it. Aw, too bad. It's so pretty. I think you're still a bit too young to be wearing that. What's that? But since you found it, I guess I can let you keep it. Mother! Thanks! I'll treasure it, always! אני מצטער גם אם אני משנה קולות, obviously. כאילו יש כמה שכאילו אני זוכר יותר בקלות, אבל יש כאילו כמו בייבי קיי, שאני באמת לא זוכר מה אני עשיתי בשבילה. אז אני פשוט ניגש למה שאני עושה. Those two seem to get along rather well. Oh, here. I've got something else for you. Oh. Hey! Thank you, Uncle Bud. למה uncle? גם על הדרך, למה uncle? בגלל שברן עובד עם טיירד? Earlier, I have one of these with gummy. Gummy? Oh, you mean gumshoe? Gummies! He was trying to be nice to me because I was gonna get in trouble. And then he got in trouble because he liked to protect me. הנה בקיצור כל מה שקרה בפריוויוס אפיסוד. Mommy. I know he didn't kill Daddy. Obviously, כי את אלוביי. אני אומר את זה כי obviously. לא רק בגלל הקונטרדיקשן של הפיוטשר. לפי אייס אטרני 1 אפילו עוד הרבה יותר מוקדם. Terrible beginnings. גם אפילו שזה קונטרדיקשן. שאני יודע שזה קונטרדיקשן. אז זה כאילו obvious עכשיו. אפילו בלי הקונטקסט של גם שמופיע בעתיד, אפילו בלי זה בכלל, אפשר בעצם לדעת, קיי הייתה עם גמשו, יש לו אלוביי, איך הוא היה יכול להרוג שני אנשים? שאחד מהם זה ליטרלי אבא שלה. יש לגמשו אלוביי. Anyway, don't cry. Faraday would be sad if he saw you crying. I'm not crying. Okay.
Oh, it's the mister from before and the lady too.
Don't you think it would be a good idea to go home for the time being?
You're not involved in the investigation, so it's for the best if you do. Actually, I'm Uncle Bad's assistant,
Ma.
so I'm related to the investigation.
Is that so, Detective Bell? Yeah, I guess.
What? You were just scolding us like kids to not mess up the crime scene. And now you let this child run free? Why?
כי זה כי הבת של ברן פרדיי. People are free to investigate things outside of the actual crime scene. You also had a few things you wanted to look into. Got a problem with that? I don't have a problem with that. But I'm curious as to what Miss Yu is looking into.
Uncle Bad, I'm gonna go look somewhere else now, okay?
Alright, I'm counting on you.
Oh, that's right! Hey, mister!
Yes, what is it?
I know Gummy really isn't the bad guy. I mean it. So please, find the real bad guy, okay?
זה יותר המצב של דפנס אטרניז, אבל... גם אפילו שטכנית, הם לא אמורים לעשות את זה בכלל, זה רק המשטרה! טכנית המשטרה הם אלה שצריכים לחפש את הרוצחים וכל הזה, כל האנשים שעושים את הפשע. העורכי דין, אם זה prosecution או defense, שטכנית זה אותו הדבר, אז ה-prosecution או defense הם פשוט נמצאים בבית משפט בשביל להראות בעצם שהוא באמת, כן או לא, עשה את הפשע שבו בעצם הוא אשם. אז כן, תאשים את המשטרה, לא את מיילס. אפילו לא את המשטרה, הכל בא בגלל קליסטו, לא? כן, כל ההאשמות התחילו בגלל קליסטו. עכשיו שאני חושב על זה, כל ההאשמות שהיו פה הם אשכרה בגלל קליסטו. קליסטו אמרה הוא גילטי, ומביאה את הג'אדג'. הוכחנו שהג'אדג' הוא לא בדיוק מדויק במה שהוא ראה. היא עדיין אומרת גילטי, שגם שהוא גילטי as fuck. מה קורה איתך פה קליסטו? I won't forgive whoever did this. But in the absence of the perfect piece of testimony and evidence, there's no one else who could be the true culprit other than Detective Gumshoe. איך? שוב, אני רוצה לגשת לאלוביי. אני רוצה לגשת לאלוביי. מה קורה עם אלוביי? זה מה שאני רוצה לדבר איתו. She wandered off while I was pondering. This television is the same model as the one in Definite Lobby number 2.
Looks like the two rooms are basically the same in terms of layout and supplies.
Yes. The two rooms are basically the same, huh?
What an incredibly strong sensed herbal tea!
I feel that more than being relaxing, this scent may make one a bit heady instead. Oh my god. You put in a special request for that.
No wonder she's so violent if she's been jigging this stuff the whole time.
Neither woman should be allowed to comment on this peculiar topic. Ever. It may not look like much, but I find that ordinary tables like this one are very useful.
I think it's time they bought a new one. I wonder if they will replace this table if I hit it enough with my whip.
Much too heavy-handed method if I ever saw one. בוא נדבר על זה שבו אין פה את השקיות של evidence? Whatever. One of these windows is in this lobby. Yeah. One of the windows in this lobby is open as well. The air conditioner is working just fine in this room. So why did they open it, I wonder? Oh! فرحت بو. Huh! Oh! יש שם עציץ שפה זה כאן. These decorative plants leaves are shiny. מה? סליחה. Are shinier than the ones on the plant in lobby number 2.
That's probably because it's next to the windows where it's easier to photosynthesize.
You may be right. Plus the curtains are always drawn in lobby number 2.
The caretakers of this courthouse don't think enough about the plants, do they?
That's because they're the courthouse's caretakers. Not a bunch of botanists. You can see down into the courtyard from here.
What is that mess supposed to be? It's like an optical illusion.
I believe it's supposed to be postmodern in design.
More like thoughtfulness in design.
I can't disagree there. Detective Bad, what exactly was Kay searching for? Nothing that concerns you, boy.
Oh? And I am suppose it has something to do with Kay?
It does, because she's Faraday's daughter. Anyway, hurry up and get to the point. Oh! יש לך מראה? אני לא זוכר את זה. I don't have time to waste. It sounds like you'd rather be left alone. I have something I would like to confirm with you once again. don't have anything to say to you. Be that as it may, we still have questions that we need to answer to. We need answers to. Now then, first of all, what is the overpowering smell that is permeating this room? Upon entering this room, I thought I was going to suffocate. It's the ultra-strong perfume you wears. She spilled some of it. Oh. I was having a bad time of it myself. I didn't think twice and opened the window. But that smell's still here. אז פתחו את החלונות! Perfume, huh? A sweet scent in the air is perfume.
Well, it's giving off quite a stench. I bet it's some cheap no-name brand.
She said it's a famous brand from overseas. Francisco, get fucked!
It's a knockoff. Yes, definitely a knockoff.
No disrespect, but she forced one of those bottles on me. Here, little girl, you can have it.
I was born for a much more expensive and refined perfume.
איך זה נראה?
However, seeing as how you just happen to have a spare, I suppose I'll take it. Miles Edgeworth, you will hold on to this bottle without fail.
Why can't she ever be honest about her wants? Oh! זה אמור להיות אנג'ל? נראה לי זה אנג'ל. זה השם של החברה. That's interesting. So now we have the perfume Miss Fuels. Just fantastic. Is that all you wanted to talk about? If so, I'm going back to investigating. Actually, I still have a few other things that I wish to inquire about. Oh, okay. אני די בטוח שזה היה אותו בקבוק, רק שבור מה שהיה לקיי בהתחלה. מה שקיי מצא. So you were in this room the entire recess. Like I said, I made a call to the precinct to get a big lockdown here. But other than that, I was waiting for the recess to end in here.
At least your story is consistent.
Earlier, you said that you were in this lobby with Miss Yu. Yeah, I ran into her in the hallway. She said she wanted to talk to me about something, so we came in here. Then, what you're saying is that until Detective Gumshoe's arrival, you and Miss Yu were in two different locations? Guess I am. Interesting.
Speaking of that lawyer, she seems to have a great dislike for you.
Let's see. Miss Yu is the sister of the victim of the KG8 incident. And as I recall, Detective Bad was the lead detective on the case. I wonder if the reason for her disdain isn't simply because you failed to go at seas, but because you were the lead detective on the case. You know? I also know that today's trial involving the Kodopian Embassy staff member is being referred to as the second KG-8 incident. Now then, Detective, I believe it's time you were honest with me and told me the Huh? לא נראה לי שזה told, נראה לי זה tell. And tell me the truth behind your relationship with Miss Yu and Mr. Faraday. And the KG-8 incident. If you already know that much, I guess it would be alright to tell you. Okay. Now then, I would like to ask you a few questions about the KG-8 incident. It's not exactly a happy story, other than the people who were directly involved. You two will be the first to hear what I'm about to tell. Oh! זה היה סוכריה! Oh my god. קודם זה היה מראה ועכשיו זה סוכריה? What the fuck? The honest truth behind the KG-8 incident. Faraday, you, and I. As you already know, we three were involved with the KG-8 incident. Faraday and I, we were originally on the trail of a smuggling ring. You mean the smuggling case involving one of Amano Group's secretaries? That trial was just a front.
A facade?
Yeah, but the case became tainted. All because the witness who was going to testify about the Amano Group's ties to the smuggling ring, Sis Yu, was killed. Then what became of the secretary who was arrested? His name was Colin Devery. To be honest, the guy didn't know a thing about the smuggling ring. But he confessed to knowing about it anyway. Oh. אז הוא היה innocent? Devery was probably being intimidated by the big boss man. Just another scapegoat. The boss man of the Amano group? He can seriously mean Mr. Ernest Amano. כן, מה קורה עם ארנסט שגם לנג אחר כך קשור? That can't be right. It's probably just Detective Barrett's personal hypothesis. What is he trying to do? Suspecting Mr. Amano of being involved with smuggling?
I suppose it would have been quite difficult to secure an acquittal after he confessed. But the man who killed Sis Yu, Manny Cochin, was a completely different person. But since he's already been acquitted once over her murder... Mr. Faraday, how could you not let him go?
If I remember correctly, I heard that Mr. Faraday had an important piece of evidence stolen from him. That wasn't Faraday's fault. It was mine. I wasn't vigilant enough. זה שלהם! זה חייב להיות עכשיו שלהם. אם קודם אומרים היה evidence אבל לא הצליחו, כיד tampering with the evidence. זה היה קשור, זה 100% קשור ללאנג.
Verily, cease. I was supposed to protect them both.
Monsieur did mention that as well. About how Detective Barry was supposed to go on her sister.
But even I was supposed to protect them. I fell into their trap.
What kind of a trap?
The holes in this jacket are testament to that trap.
Oh.
You mean you were fired upon? You were shot at that many times? You were shot at that many times in one gunfight? No. Only about half of these are from that case. But the reason I continue to wear this jacket is to remind myself of the lessons I learned from the KG-8 incident.
I see.
I couldn't protect Cecile, and the suspect was found not guilty.
שנייה אחת. מצטער על זה התעטשתי.
We had hit a brick wall as far as the law was concerned. And that's when she came to the courtroom. The victim's sister. That's when I first met Callisto Yu.
Ooh. But when you first met Miss Yu, it was on the day of the verdict of the KG-8 incident was handed down, was it not?
Yes, Faraday and I. We apologized to her from the bottom of our hearts. It was all we could do, but just saying you're sorry won't bring my sister back, she said. And then she gave me a hard slap across the face.
Well, you certainly had a lot of self-control to stop at just a slap. If it was me, not even 100 lashes would have been punishment enough.
I suppose not. You said herself that she never wanted to see either of us ever again.
But after that, you've seen her many times over, correct?
Yeah, Faraday and I, even after the KG-8 incident had come to a close, we continued to hunt down the smuggling ring and got involved in a variety of cases. But it was no use. We cracked so many different cases. But the result was always the same. We couldn't find the real mastermind behind the ring.
Is the ring really that big? שאלה טובה.
It was in the pursuit of the ring that we met you once again. It was during another trial related to the smuggling ring. Faraday was the prosecutor, and I, as the lead detective, took to the witness stand. She appeared out of the blue as the defense attorney.
Her client was related to the smuggling ring, and she was defending them.
Yeah. You was pursuing the ring as best that she could as a lawyer. I think she defended Rel this time, for the same reason. To think of it, Miss Yu did say something to the same effect. Cam.
יש לו בעצם אג'נדה אישית בנושא של הקייס.
It doesn't matter what her reason is. Helping a criminal is just despicable.
You're so naive, little girl. I got stolen this lollipop from you. That's how naive you are.
How dare you insult the daughter of a Von Karma?
Just like us, you felt that she hit the limit of what the law could do. That's all.
The law is merely a tool. There is no limit to it. Only the skill of the craftsman.
You two are still too young. But one day, you'll know what I mean.
Oh, obviously. Von Karma וגנט. מה שאני חושב עליהם באופן obvious. ואותו הדבר גם כריסטוף. Von Karma, גנט וכריסטוף. אז ממש וגנט וכריסטוף. ודריאן. כן, באמת לא יודעים את הנושא הזה של להילחם נגד החוק. עדיין לא הגענו לזה. גנט ומנפרד היה רק אחרי שמיילס נהיה יותר מבוגר ואשכרה נלחם נגד הטראומה שלו. וכריסטוף היה הנושא של אפולו.
But enough sidetracking. What matters is that we met you again in pursuit of the smuggling ring. That's all.
So, what was your relation to Mr. Faraday? You even seem to know Kay fairly well.
I met him, and he was a rookie prosecutor. Known him ever since. And Kay, I've known her since the day she was born.
Oh.
Faraday and I, we cracked quite a few cases together.
But you just seem to have made no progress at all in the Yatagarasu case. Did we touch a nerve?
I only have one thing to say to you. No one knew more about the Yatagarasu than me and Faraday. That's why I was called upon to testify in today's trial. To prove that Rel was not the real Yatagarasu. Which I would have done if he hadn't turned around and accused Faraday. After the accusation, I was asked to testify, but this time, to prove or disprove the accusation. But I guess I won't be doing that either.
I say that there's more to that statement than meets the eye.
Perhaps a bit more digging into the Eldegorasu is what's necessary. You claim you know much about the Eldegorasu. Would you care to share what you know with me? What you two should be looking for right now is proof of murderous intent towards Faraday and Rel. I agree, which is exactly why I'm asking you about the Eldegorasu.
What?
זה דווקא חכם. המצב היחיד שבו בעצם שניהם יכולים למות? שבו יש איזשהו מוטיב משותף? אם לגמרי זורקים את קוצ'ן? אם לגמרי מתפטרים מקוצ'ן? לפי KG8? זה היאדגורסו. כי מאק וברן הם בעצם אומרים, הם בעצם יצאו בעצם באקיוזיישן ששניהם הם היאדגורסו. זה אשכרה די חכם. אולי היאדגורסו האמיתי לא רצה בעצם שיהיו אימפוסטרים, או שיש איזשהו היטמן להיאדגורסו, שאז אחר כך שניהם מתים. בגלל סוג של היטמן.
What?
The KG8 incident and the second KG8 incident. Both of these cases are tied to the smuggling ring.
ההבדל היחיד בעצם בין שני נזרק היאדגורסו.
And in both of these cases, the witness who was to testify about the ring was murdered. However, there is one point in which they differ,
היאדגורסו.
and that is the presence or absence of the great thief Yadagarasu. Mr. Rao claimed to be at the Yadagarasu. However, in the middle of the trial, he suddenly declared Mr. Faraday to be the real Yadagarasu. Then, during the recess, they were both killed. Don't you find that to be the least bit odd?
Minus Edgeworth! Stop beating around the bush, just spit it out already! המוטיב קשור ליאדגורסו. המוטיב כאן קשור בעצם ליאדגורסו.
I believe that there must be some reason that the two men suspected of being the Yadagarasu were both killed at the same time.
A reason, huh?
And so, in order to catch Mr. Faraday's and Mr. Rell's cold-blooded killer, I feel that I need to learn as much as I can about the Yadagarasu.
If it will help you solve this case. Then I'll tell you. I'll tell you the reason why we've never caught the Yadagarasu.
What was that sudden outburst for? Thomas maybe whip you by accident.
Miles? Ah!
It still accidentally whipped me anyway.
There are three main reasons why the Yadagarasu will always be one step ahead. First, the Yadagarasu always knows the exact location of the target object. Second, the Yadagarasu always knows exactly how to disarm the security system. Third, the Yadagarasu doesn't leave a single shred of evidence behind. Ever.
You see. So those are the Yadagarasu special traits. Sounds like an incredibly elusive thief.
The Yadagarasu has never been caught on tape. Never tries to draw anyone's attention. And will never do something as lowbrow as commit to murder. That's how I knew that Terrell wasn't the real Yadagarasu right away.
can't use that sort of logic on its own to prove that he wasn't.
Listen, little girl. I'm not done talking yet.
Ah!
What's different about this time is that evidence to the smuggling ring was sent to the police. And the sender was none other than the one who infiltrated the Cadopian embassy. The Yadagarasu.
The Yadagarasu sent the evidence.
Until now, the Yadagarasu would always publicize any corrupt dealings through the mass media. But not this time. The evidence this time was something only Faraday and I, and a select few others knew about.
In that case, how can you be so sure that it was the Yadagarasu who sent it?
That's easy. A special card that only the Yadagarasu uses was attached. That's how I can be so sure.
And just what sort of code is it?
Here, take a look at this article. Whenever the Yadagarasu wants to publicize something, a white card is sent along with the stolen information. But when we questioned Rel about what was sent along with the white card, Rel had no idea what it was.
Huh. And that's how Detective Brad knew that Mr. Bell was a phony. Thank you very much. I have a much better understanding of the other grass now.
Oh. Excuse me, Mr. Edgeworth.
Yes?
So we'll have to transfer the evidence from today's trial over to you. So if you could please hand over to the courtroom, I'll be much appreciated, sir.
Understood. I'll be there shortly. Detective Bad? What does the law mean to you?
Finding the answer to that question is the only reason I'm still alive.
I became a prosecutor to find the answer to that question myself. And to play a part in ensuring that all criminals everywhere are found guilty.
Sobie setup this courtroom special. What's all about? Oh, it's you, Mr. Edgeworth.
It appears that his honor is a bit dispirited.
For the first time today, I experienced what it's like to stand at the witness stand. And now I have a great appreciation for just how hard it is to give testimony.
Well, there's no reason for you to be all depressed about it, Your Honor. As a judge, no one expects you to think about anything other than the verdict.
Francisca, there's no need to further depress His Honor.
But I'm not trying to, Miles.
Your Honor. Your Honor, I've come to collect the evidence that was to be transferred to me. Your Honor, the evidence? Your Honor! Oh! Yes! Can I help you?
I'd like to collect the evidence now, sir. Your Honor, did you think you could stay focused
long enough to at least do your job?
Yes, I'm sorry. And I would expect the defense attorney has... Except the defense attorney has yet to arrive.
She's busy with the investigation. So let's keep this brief, shall we? Very well. In that case, please confirm that all the pieces of evidence are present. Furthermore, the evidence that was used in the murders of Mr. Faraday and Mr. Rao are also included. So please, go ahead and use them in your investigation into their case. Understood, Your Honor. The pieces of evidence that were used in the murder of those two men. This could be a very good chance for me to find new leads regarding their case. And maybe even something that will finally lead me to the truth. I have placed all of the evidence over at the prosecutor's bench for you. I should have got that defense. I see. Thank you very much. I will go and confirm that they are all accounted for. My mother showed defense! Evidence that Miss Yu prepared is just sitting here on this... You know you can just walk off with it, right? Of course I do. Miss Yu must have been caught by her client's sudden accusation. I wonder how she would have defended Mr. Rell in that case if he was still alive. So, this is the evidence related to today's Kudopian Embassy's... today's Kudopian Embassy trial for Mr. Faraday's bag. You mean the evidence bag that was on the table in lobby number 2, right? Yes. Finally, we can now take a look at all the evidence itself, not just data about them. Let's be sure to thoroughly examine them while we have the time. Agreed. I want to take a good look at all of the evidence from the embassy murder too. And why is that? Because I still don't fully understand what today's trial was about. Oh. Don't point your crop at me just because you don't know anything. Don't know something. Look up. And don't you try to order me around just because Papa chose you today. I see someone is still sore about not being picked by Mr. Bonkawa. It's also real to see the knife up close. So we have the knife, the gun, an envelope. And what's this organizer doing here? Oh, that's right. I completely forgot to tell you. About what, Your Honor? They found Mr. Faraday's personal organizer inside that evidence bag of his. Detective Bell requested to be passed along to you. He said it would help the investigation. Detective Bell said that. What a strange stroke of luck. Well, never look at a gift horse in the mouth. Might as well flip through it too. I'm impressed that Della inspected every suspicious looking nook and cranny. What was that? I took a quick look for these documents before the trial started. Well, I wasn't even afforded the opportunity to skim it. I suppose I should explain it to you then. Yes, you should. Perfectly in its entirety, if you please. On that night of September 8th, an embassy staff member was killed in front of the embassy. The staff member died of shock due to being shot in the heart.
Mackerel was brought in that night as a suspect and thoroughly questioned. Because the murder weapon was found on him, for which he was arrested on the spot.
A simpleton of a man. That's what he was.
Perhaps he was, for the weapon wasn't the only incriminating evidence we had. Mr. Rao was caught in the act on film by a security camera.
He was an even bigger simpleton than I thought. I can't believe it didn't notice a security camera.
The Cadobian Embassy's security system is supposedly very well designed. May have simply not been aware that there was a camera in the area.
So, have you seen the contents of the video for yourself?
Yes. The surveillance video of the security camera took was played during the trial by Mr. Faraday. You can clearly identify Mr. Rell on it. Even the sound of the gunshot was crystal clear.
So, the footage includes sound, huh? I think I'd ever want to see the moment of someone's death in real life.
Me neither. Mr. Faraday's organizer. It appears he was in the habit of using it.
Looks like he wrote his strategy for getting Mr. Rell convicted down in here.
I've collected evidence that I need to prove that he's the killer. Between the handgun Rell had on him when he was arrested and the surveillance tape, I should be able to prove that he was the one. Okay. It appears that Mr. Faraday honestly believed that Mr. Rell was the killer in the case. The sound of his anger going off was recorded with superior clarity on the surveillance video. I also have evidence that I can use to prove that Rell was not the real Yadagarasu. And it would also appear that he had proof that Mr. Rell was not the Yadagarasu. No matter how I may try to play it, as long as I have the Yadagarasu's key, I can prove he's a phony. If I present it to him in court, it should clear everything up. A Yadagarasu's key? What's that? And he apparently also had a very definitive piece of evidence. It's been a long battle, how this will finally bring it to an end. Yes, I believe that Mr. Faraday was well prepared to discredit any claim Mr. Rell might have made about being the real Yadagarasu.
And you had a way to prove that Mr. Rell was the guilty party in the embassy murder.
This organizer is a clue straight from Mr. Faraday. I have to take my time and give it a thorough read later.
Look! There's a picture stuck between the pages here.
It appears to be a key. המפתח שהיה עד גרוסו.
And a rather ornate one at that. Just look at the design on the handle.
The craftsmanship is superb. Could this be the Algarasu's key that Mr. Faraday made in his organizer?
The Yadagarasu's key?
Detective Bat said something earlier. Evidence bound by police על ידי Yadagarasu. שבדרך כלל לא עושה את זה רגיל. הוא שולח את זה free speech וכל זה.
Mr. Faraday must have been trying to keep this secret safe key.
As the plastic are above the other grass to end smuggling ring cases, that's to be expected. זה הכל.
It's the knife that was used to kill Mr. Faraday.
Who would have found that such a beautiful piece of art could be used for such a cruel act?
And it's never crossed your mind that you use your riding crop for the wrong purpose. That's odd.
What is it?
Mr. Faraday didn't mention anything about the knife and his organizer.
Oh! Huh. אז מאיפה הסכין בא?
That certainly is odd.
The weapon that was used to kill the Kotopian embassy staff member was the gun. But if that's the case, then where did the knife that was used to murder Mr. Faraday come from?
Isn't it obvious? It was brought into the courthouse by Mr. Rell.
עבור הנעצר, לא היה לו כלום.
It's the only logical conclusion, right?
No, because it's not that easy to smuggle a weapon like that in here. Every person who enters the courthouse doors is checked thoroughly for contraband. Furthermore, the suspect was handcuffed, making it impossible for him to bring a knife as large as this inside.
In that case, how do you suppose this knife ended up inside the courthouse?
זה אומר שמישהו היה בעצם סכין, וזה לא רל.
I need to think carefully here. There's nothing related to the knife written anywhere in Mr. Faraday's organizer. However, it is a fact that this knife came from Mr. Faraday's evidence bag. Conversely, there's one item listed in Mr. Faraday's organizer that no one has claimed to have seen today. So, in order to solve this mystery, I believe I will need to take another good look at the evidence.
יש סיכוי שזה המפתח? יש סיכוי שזה המפתח?
Miles Edgeworth, can I take the fact that you have yet to answer me to mean that you don't have an answer for me?
Actually, I do know the answer, Francisco.
What? Then what is it?
One of the pieces of evidence we've been holding has been hiding a secret of its own. And it was for this piece of evidence that the knife was brought into the courthouse.
המפתח.
This, the other grass whose key Mr. Faraday mentioned in his organizer. This is how the knife was brought into the courthouse. You're not making any sense, Miles Edgeworth. You just need to look a bit closer, Francisca, to see what I mean. Don't the color and the ornamentation of the key's handle remind you of anything? They do remind me of the knife. Very good. Bob the Grasso's key in the spell and the murderous knife have this very unique sign on their handles. Furthermore, even though Mr. Faraday mentions the other Grasso's key, the only object we found at the crime scene was the knife. You don't seriously mean to say? It appears that you have finally caught up. And yes, I do mean to say that these two pieces are in fact one and the same. But that's impossible! לא, קוראים לזה switch knife. לא יודע איך, המפתח בעצם אין לו סימנים, אבל זה משהו אחר. Even if that's what you believe, you should still investigate this possibility. And now, let us examine this knife in a little more detail.
Oh! ככה זה מתנתק! אני פשוט ראיתי צהוב.
I can't believe it turned into a key. To think there was such a trick to this thing. So the weapon used to kill Mr. Faraday is actually the key the El Grasso stole. This piece of evidence, the information is more crucial than anything we've learned up until now. Frankly, I'm shocked. Mr. Faraday only mentioned the key aspect of this piece of evidence in his organizer. It's possible that even he had no idea the key was hiding a knife blade inside. But if that's true, then only someone would know about the key to knife trick could have killed Mr. Faraday.
או במילים האחרות, היה the Grasso.
Even among law enforcement, this key was a top secret. We're looking for someone who knew even more information about the key than even Mr. Faraday. Meaning that the only person it could be the one who sent the key in the first place. The great thief Yal Grasso.
כן, יאללה גראסו עכשיו הוא ה-only suspect. היאללה גראסו הוא ה-only suspect עכשיו. אבל מי זה?
Then maybe Mr. L really was the other Grasso. And he was the one who killed Mr. Faraday. Is there one possible scenario?
No, not really.
Especially since Mr. Faraday was absolutely convinced that Mr. L was not the other Grasso. Besides, Detective Bat said earlier
שהוא לא ידע בכלל על הקלף.
I see. Alright then. I guess the person who knows the trick behind this key is someone else. And that person is the real Yada Grasso. It seems that this key is truly the key to solving this case.
עכשיו אתה רק את הרובה. אבל וואו. ככה יותר עדיף. כי זה פשוט ג'נקי. ממש מעניין.
This gun. It was originally used to kill the Cotopian embassy staff member. When the crime was reported, the responding police found Mr. Rao still holding it, which led to his immediate arrest. And then, this gun took the original sheriff's life. How ironic. Indeed. There doesn't seem to be anything else we can learn about from this piece of evidence. That's odd. We're short on one piece of evidence. And the piece that's missing is the surveillance video that was played in court.
Oh! איפה הצילום באמת?
The surveillance video? How could a piece of evidence just disappear? Where did it go? Video showing the moment in which Mr. Rao committed the murder. Could he have gone indeed? Are you done with your inspection of the evidence? Yes, I'm finished. However, Your Honor, I am missing a single piece of prosecutorial evidence. Your Honor, were you derelict on your duties? What? No, I dare not like my duties. What do you take me for?
מה בכלל אמרת? אני לא הבנתי.
No, Your Honor. The most important piece of evidence in today's trial. The surveillance video is not among the evidence you laid out for me. I brought Mr. Faraday's whole bag with me from the crime scene. Maybe the tape is somewhere at the crime scene. There's something wrong here. Something about this missing piece of evidence.
Huh?
It will appear that for me to find the answers I seek, I have to pay another visit to the scene of the crime. Defendant lobby number 2.
כן, תכננתי ללכת לשם בכל מקרה. לנג? זה אשכרה לנג? 10 בספטמבר 6 בערב, 10 דקות, דפן לא ב2.
That's Detective Bad. But who is he with?
זה נראה כמו לנג!
I've never seen that officer before.
The Ken Lang, oh my god. So, did you find it? No, not yet. And I've looked everywhere. I see. Well then, please continue with the search. Understood. I'll continue the search. So you're the one running this show. Prosecutors like you shouldn't be allowed at crime scenes.
How dare you? Just who do you think you are?
Geelong Lane.
What's that all about? And who was the man just now?
אני לא ציפיתי דווקא אשכרה לראות את לנג עכשיו.
Whoever he was, I've never seen a more impudent officer in my life.
אחר כך זה ששניכם עובדים ביחד, פרנצ'סקה.
Does he know that we're standing right here behind him?
יש לו מראה.
I know you're standing right behind me. What do you want, kids?
יש לו מראה.
It looks like you were paying attention after all.
Of course I was. I have eyes in the back of my head.
Ah, so the mirror isn't for vanity's sake. It's for him to keep an eye out on who or what is behind him at all times. So, tell me, Detective Pad, who was the rude man just now?
The guy came here from the Republic of Zangfa to study. He's Agent Lang. He's trying everything he can to revive the lost honor of his family.
Oh, that okay, can.
He's traveling the world to study different philosophies of the team from scratch.
And visiting various police departments around the world, he has a lot of dedication.
He's still just a rookie cop, but I sense a strong grudge of some sort from him. The guy's more useful than Gumshoe, even if he's rude.
Ah, Gumshoe בסדר.
Well, he sure has a lot of guts to come to this country and give prosecutors a hard time.
I agree. However, I can think of one young lady that statement also applies to. Anyway, what was that agent looking for, Detective Bag?
Earlier, that little girl was poking a lobby number 1 as well.
Like I said before, it's got nothing to do with the two of you.
I highly doubt that it has nothing to do with me. Sorry. Fine. If this is the game I must play, then I will take this opportunity to draw out what he's hiding and what happened in this room straight from him. After. I suppose it's possible to enter or exit for these windows thanks to these bars.
I suppose you're right.
Actually, that's not true. I bet a person of small stature could slip in. Franziska, would you care to help me test my theory? Oh no. Ugh. Drat. I have to remember to be more tactful around the verticality challenged. This is the bad time! Earlier you were in lobby number 1, and now you're here in lobby number 2. You're quite the busy man, Detective Bear.
Multiple returns to a crime scene brings about success. That's what the detectives say.
I see. In that case, you wouldn't mind if I asked about what happened again, correct?
I don't have anything left to say to you, boy.
Boy? You see, I will draw my answer from you one way or another.
Would it kill you to help us even a tiny bit in our investigation?
I gave Faraday's notebook to the judge earlier. That's help enough, don't you think? Please, we're asking for just a bit more of your cooperation. Don't push me, kid. Detective Bad, did you know of the existence of the item in this photograph? Of course I did. It's my job to know everything related to the Yadgrasso case. In that case, let me ask you something. Did you know that the knife that would kill Mr. Faraday and this Yadagrasu's key are one and the same? What? That's impossible! It looks like you didn't know after all. This piece of evidence, which we call the Yadagrasu's key, is actually a well-camouflaged knife. Mr. Faraday was planning to use this Yadagrasu's key to prove that Mr. Rao was not the real Yadagrasu. Isn't that correct? I guess so. However, Mr. Faraday had no idea that it was in fact a knife. Yeah, I have to admit, none of us knew that fact. And if neither of us knew, then no one in law enforcement knew either. How did we miss something as big as this? I noticed that since a little while ago. You appear to be searching for something. I presume that this key is what you're searching for? Yeah, that's right. And why were you searching for it? Because I promised Faraday. I promised I would protect that key with my life. But after he was killed, the key disappeared from Faraday's evidence bag. Who would have thought that the key is what took Faraday's life? Detective Bad, so that we may find the truth, please testify for me once more. Alright. But it doesn't matter how many times I tell you about what happened. Nothing will change. Detective Bad, I ask that you please testify once more about what happened in lobby number 2 and what you experienced in lobby number 1. My answer is still the same. And this is the last time I'm going to do this. That's fine, because I only need this one last time to clear everything up. And find the truth behind this case. Okay, sure. I was in lobby number 1, talking with you. We were talking about some trivial things. I heard a gunshot right before the trial was about to reconvene. Never heard it, yet I immediately... סליחה, קרות שלי. Fuck! You and I immediately dashed out into the hallway altogether. I saw gunshoot goofing around there, and then we all ran into lobby number 2. It sounds like the exact same story he told us before. Indeed. However, I feel that we have yet to draw out all of the information that we can. Oh my God! הגרון שלי! נעשה את זה שיהיה לפחות מוזיקה. אני רגע אקח מים, אז אני כבר חוזר, אני רגע לוקח לשתות מים. אז כן, אני כבר חוזר.
אוקיי, חזרתי. קצת מים תמיד מרענן. בוא נתחיל מפה. I was hoping you could expel what exactly you were discussing with Miss Hugh.
Trivial stuff. It was nothing important. That's for me to decide.
Alright, suppose that's for him to decide. Moving on then.
Hold it!
Until you heard the gunshot, did you notice anything else that was out of the ordinary?
I didn't hear any other strange sounds until that gunshot.
If the gunshot Detective Bad heard was really the one from the murder, that would give that other piece of evidence an entirely different meaning. I ask that you please amend your testimony with that statement just now.
Sure.
The final testimony? Okay. אני רוצה לדבר על הבלון.
Objection!
יופי. אז כן ניגשים לזה. Detective Bad, does this balloon fragment remind you of anything?
It's the same color as the one Kay was holding.
Oh, so you know about that girl's balloon?
Yeah, I was sitting with her up in the gallery. During the recess, just before we split up, I filled that balloon up for her.
Well, as you may have already surmised, this piece did indeed come from Kay's balloon.
So, what about the balloon?
I wonder if you might remember hearing of this balloon pop at some point.
What are you getting at?
Oh! This fragment was found in the hallway right in front of lobby number 2. Furthermore, it was the sound of this balloon popping that the judge mistook as a gunshot.
Oh, so the sound that the judge heard was not actually a gunshot, huh?
On top of that, his Honor said that he heard the balloon pop. About 20 minutes before the trial was to reconvene. Yes, which means that his Honor heard the balloon pop in the hallway. When you were in lobby number 1, Detective Bad. And if you were in lobby number 1 at that time, you were close enough that you should be able to hear the balloon popping as well.
So,
Give me a so? We just proved that there was a flaw in your testimony. אבל מה זה בכלל משנה? זה מה שהוא רוצה להגיד.
the crackling of the truth is louder than the sound of your sweet naivete cracking. And since the kids don't seem to know, let me fill you in on something. Did you ever stop to think why the doors and walls of this place seem so ragged? That's because they were designed to keep secrets from being leaked.
Huh? What is that supposed to mean?
The doors and walls are super thick. And
Oh my god.
the window panes are double layered. To top it all off, even the curtains are made of a special sound-absorbing material. Then you mean? Since I was shut up inside lobby number 1, there was no way I could have heard that sound.
No!
I knew that's what he was going to say.
And that means that Scrubface's testimony is completely useless!
רוטמן עושה על זה שיש לו אלביי, תגשו כבר לאלביי!
Jesus Christ! If the rooms are soundproof, then of course you won't hear any signs of a struggle.
No! That's also why it's only natural that I didn't hear the balloon popping.
אבל איך שמעת את הגאנשוט? איך שמעת את הגאנשוט?
Now do you get it, kids?
Miles? I thought we were supposed to be the ones finding flaws in his logic. Not the other way around.
The other way around? It's not possible to hear the sound of a balloon popping if one were in lobby number 1. However, I have to examine the situation in reverse. A person standing in the hallway should not be able to hear the real gunshot either. And yet, the gumshoe claims to have heard it while he was standing in the hallway. Detective Bad, if that is the case, how exactly did you hear the gunshot? What do you mean, how? I just did.
עם סאונדפרוף, עם חדרים שהם סאונדפרוף. עכשיו החדרים הם סאונדפרוף, אז איך שמעת את הגאנשוט?
It would appear that you have yet to realize the contradiction in your own words. Oh, how so? If the rooms are soundproof as you say they are, then how did the sound of the gunshot enter your ears? I see what you mean. I guess I'm more out of it from Faraday's murder than I thought.
Which means what exactly, Miles? In the end, what does it all boil down to?
It boils down to this. There must be a reason as to how Detectives Bad and Gumshoe heard the gunshot they theoretically couldn't have.
It looks like we need to examine the state of the crime scene again, huh?
אני לא יודעת איך אתה יכול לחשוב על זה החלון פתוח, כי זה בעצם נותן לגרש לצאת. שאם ככה... אומייגאד. זה בשביל לייצר אלביי שלא היה קיים. אומייגאד. זה אשכרה לייצר אלביי.
זה דרך רשת סיטואשן all over again! זה דריאן קרשנד all over again!
The state of the crime scene? Wait, can it be? Oh! הריח של הבושם. בלוג'יק. והטלוויזיה רועשת. וההיעלמות של הסורוויילנס וידאו.
אז נתחיל מזה! נתחיל מפה, כי הריח 100% בא, הריח חייב להיות בחלון.
יופי.
It
simply not possible for the killer to have escaped through barred windows. And yet the fragments of the perfume managed to escape from defendant lobby number 1. Of course, incorporeal things can move freely through these open barred windows.
דברים לא פיזיים. אז ניגשים על הטלוויזיה.
Now then, what else besides the smell can go both in and out of an open barred window? The answer is sound. So, no matter how careful the killer was, if the windows were open, the jig would be up. And since the windows in both defendant lobby number 1 and the hallway were open, that explains how the sound of the gunshot could be heard in both locations.
Oh! והיה בעצם אודיו בסרבילנס וידאו! זה מה שכל זה מראה בעצם שה-time of death הוא לא consistent! זה אומר שה-time of death הוא לא immediate! אומייגאד, זה אשכרה בשביל לייצר אלביי! זה אשכרה היה בשביל לייצר אלביי!
The missing piece of evidence is a video. It shows the moment in which Mr. Rowe killed the embassy staff member. That sound of the gunshot left quite an impression on me when it was played during the trial. The video should have returned to Mr. Faraday's evidence bag for the recess and brought back here. If it disappeared after that time, it's possible that tape is still here in this room. Eureka! The evidence that the missing evidence was created for me. It's the gunshot sound that no one should have been able to hear in the first place.
Oh my god! כל זה רק בשביל לייצר אלביי! Oh my god! זה אשכרה דרג קרשנדל over again! צריך שיהיה סאונד להביא בעצם witnesses ל-third set בשביל שידעו בעצם שהרצח הוא לא יהיה בסקנד סט שבו לדריאן יש אלביי בסקנד אז סליחה שאין לו בסקנד אבל יש לו ב-third אומייגאד זה אשכרה זה all over again
Miles, what have you been thinking about? Stop wasting time thinking and let's start looking again. It's no waste of time to think, for I have figured out where we should look. And where would that be?
הטלוויזיה
I believe we should examine the television.
The TV
Well, you kids have fun. Go ahead and examine whatever you like. Oh, there's a dead unexpected ever suspicious looking nook and cranny.
DVD אני זוכר את זה, זה היה כאילו ממש ישן אומייגאד כמה ישן זה כאלה DVD
It's a video player, and there seems to be a videotape inside. It looks like it. The tape must have stopped on its own when it reached the end. This tape could not be this missing surveillance tape. I suppose, but... Detective Bad, would it be alright with you if I verified the contents of this video?
Sure, knock yourself out
Alright, then let's rewind this and see what we have.
I remember correctly. The footage of Rail killing the embassy staff member should be at about the 30-minute mark from the start of the tape.
Understood. That should be about right. Now then, let's see.
questioning the embassy staff member.
I knew it.
כל זה... אומייגאד! אני מפגשה שכן הצלחתי להבין את הנושא. אם זה בעצם סאונד פרוף אז זה משנה הכל. כי איכשהו זה אמור להיות בלתי אפשרי, אבל זה כן קרה. במצבים שזה סאונד פרוף. מפה זה חייב להיות בשביל לייצר אלוביי.
I knew it. The missing piece of evidence, the surveillance video, was here all along. This sound. What's the meaning of this? It appears that Detective Barry has figured out the true source of the gunshot he heard. With this, I think we can figure out the trick behind this double murder.
אף אחד לא נכנס, אין משהו שמיוחד כאן. גם שהוא שמר על הדלת, ובאמת שהיה שמה, אף אחד לא נכנס או יצא מהחדר. זה אומר שהרצח נעשה בחדר שהוא סאונד פרוף, לפני שגם שהוא בכלל הגיע בשביל לשמור על המקום. מפה זה היה רק יותר מחזק את האלוביי של גמשו. כמו שאני אמרתי שאלוביי חייב להיות בעצם רלוונטי וגמשו היה עם K. כמו שאלוביי זה רלוונטי, אני רוצה לגשת לפה בנושא הזה שהאלוביי עכשיו הוא הרבה יותר חזק. כי הוא אפילו לא היה בבית משפט. כי זה חייב להיות לפני שהוא בא לשמור על החדר. לפני שהוא בא לשמור על החדר. שזה אומר שיש בשביל האלוביי שאין לו. אבל לגמשו, יש אלוביי בשני המצבים האלה, אז זה לא יכול להיות גמשו. אומייגאד!
Do you mean that you figured it all out then? Yes. All I have to do now is to show what the gunshot detectives Bad and Gumshoe heard was. And through where they heard it from.
Fine. In that case, show me what you've deduced.
Now, show what the gunshot detectives Bad and Gumshoe heard was. And through where they have heard it from.
Eureka!
If the door and window to the crime scene, namely this room, that we're in, were closed, the killer could have used the gun and no one would have been the killer. And no one would have been the wiser.
That's true. This courthouse does seem to be well designed for such a thing, as it were.
However, what happened in reality was Detective Gumshoe, Detective Bad, and Miss Yu. All three of them heard the gunshot.
Well, the windows in lobby number 1, number 2, and the hallway were open. So naturally, the people in those locations could hear it.
Ah, but then why would the criminal open the window in the first place?
מה הפואנטה בלפתוח את החלון? מה הפואנטה בלפתוח את החלון? זה הנושא פה. מה הפואנטה בלפתוח את החלון? מפה זה בשביל לייצר אלוביי.
To allow the gunshot to be heard, I suppose.
Correct. That's the only logical conclusion we can draw from this.
But why was that necessary in the first place?
בשביל לייצר אלוביי.
I want the real answer, Miles. I demand satisfaction.
Very well. I believe that the killer wanted to manipulate our perception of a certain fact. Or is it the killer wanted to manipulate?
When the crime took place.
The killer wanted to fabricate the time of death for their precise wishes. And they used the gunshot and the surveillance video to do so. So that's why the tape was left running! You mean the gunshot I heard was from this video? Yes, which means that the murders really occurred at an earlier time than we thought. I.e. לפני שגמשו בא. There we go. It must have been during the recess, but before Detective Gumshoe was on guard duty. Someone who has no alibi for that time period. And planned this crime out in advance. That person's the real killer. Again, אז אתה שפלתם שזה יהיה גמשו. Mr. Edgeworth! Yes, what is it? Miss Yu is asking for you. She's the coroner. She said that she has identified the murderer and that she wants to clarify something. It looks like Miss Yu is still investigating something. Understood. Please tell her I will be right over. אז הנה, גמשו לפני גארד דיוטי, אז אבל שזה לא יכול להיות גמשו. פשוט שני אנשים שומעים את זה. באד וסקליסטו. אחד מהם הוא בעצם הרוצח. ממה שידוע, לא ידוע שום דבר על קליסטו טכנית. אבל אם רוצים להיות טכניים, לטיירל לא משנה מה. לא יהיה לו מוטיב. אין לו מוטיב להרוג את פרדיי. על הנושא של היד הגרוסו. הוא גם לא ידע שהסכין הוא בעצם היה המפתח. משאיר את זה שזה רוב הסיכויים קליסטו על ידי process of elimination. גם שהוא לא היה פה וטיירל לא ידע על הסכין. זה משאיר על קליסטו. אוקיי. Understood. Please tell her I'll be right over. I'll come along. I want to hear what she has to say. It would appear that the time has come to uncover the truth. לא באמת! למה אתה מקנטיין עכשיו? אוקיי, לפחות זה כן יעזור לי עם הגרון. confrontation former Callista U. למה מגורם לחשוב שקליסטו היה רוצחת על ידי process of elimination? כל הפואנטה בזה שישמע בעצם הגנשוט זה בשביל שיהיה אליבי. מפה קיי, שלמה שהיא תהרוג את אבא שלה וזה יהיה כל כך fucked up? גם שהוא אפילו לא היה שמה, וזה היה לפני שהוא בא, טיירל שאין לו מוטיב להרוג את ברן פרדיי, משאיר רק את קליסטו על ידי process of elimination. אז אני שמתי פרק של היום פה, בזה שאני די בטוח שקליסטו היא guilty as fuck. אז כן. זה היה הסוף של הפרק של היום. לא יודע כזה הרבה, אז כן. כאן היה ירין, נפגש בסרטון הלאה בבא שיט, מקווה שנהנתם. וירין, אאוט. ביי חברים, מקווה שאתם נהנים.